Every empire falls the same way. Rome, Spain, the British Empire, and now, maybe the United States itself. Along with the dollar, the whole world is still holding. It always starts the same, a super strong currency. An economy everyone says is too big to fail. A collective belief that nothing can really go wrong. Then they print money. Then the debt explodes. Then history does what it always does. It repeats. And the scary part is this. All of that is happening again. Right now, in 2025, the Fed just cut rates, getting ready to loosen up and pump more money. Apple, Amazon, Google, and Netflix are smashing expectations. OpenAI is dreaming about $1 trillion IPO. The stock market is going up in a cloud of doubt, while the US national debt has passed $38 trillion. It's happening again, and almost nobody is really talking about it. But in this video, I will, and not just to scare you, but so you know what you need to do with your money before it's too late. If you truly want to understand why every empire collapses when its money dies, why the US dollar is walking the same road as Rome, Spain, and the British Empire, and most importantly, how you can avoid burning with the system and instead stand on the side that receives assets when the game resets, then watch this video until the end. Because the most dangerous part is not whether the market is going up or down. The real danger is this question: where is your wealth sitting? Before we talk about Rome, gold, or collapsing empires, let's go back and look straight at just last week. Apple reported earnings. They expect revenue to grow 10 to 12% in the quarter ending this December, thanks to the iPhone 17 selling like crazy. On the surface, it sounds like another classic iPhone money printer year. But if you look deeper, this is not just a phone story. This is a chart of consumer confidence. When iPhones, iPads, Macs, AirPods, Apple Watches are still flying off the shelves, it means the world is still swiping cards with a lot of confidence. To Wall Street, Apple is not just a tech company. It's like a thermometer for the global wallet. If Apple can still push a ton of high-ticket devices into the market, that tells you consumers are still willing to spend. The world hasn't run out of faith yet. The consumption engine is still running. Then we come to Amazon. AWS, their cloud division, grew 20% year over year, hitting $33 billion of revenue in a single quarter. Companies only spend big on cloud and infrastructure when they believe their future will be better than their present. No one upgrades infrastructure, rents more servers, and scales cloud usage if they think they're about to go bankrupt. When AWS is accelerating, it means businesses have started opening the spending tap again, and they believe there is still light at the end of the tunnel. And don't forget, Amazon is not just the everything store online. They are the backbone of the internet. The websites you visit, the apps you use, even the AI models running behind the scenes. They are very likely sitting on Amazon servers. When AWS speeds up, that's fuel being poured into the world's digital transformation engine. Now, Netflix. Their earnings weren't amazing. The market was a bit disappointed. The stock dropped. Then they pulled a classic move, a 10-to-1 stock split. If you're holding one share at $1,000, after the split, you have 10 shares at about $100 each. Your total value doesn't change, but the door for small investors becomes much easier to walk through. History shows every time a stock splits, liquidity goes up, more people FOMO in, and greed goes up too. Now put it all together. Apple is running, Amazon is running, Netflix is playing the split game, OpenAI is dreaming of $1 trillion IPO. The Fed is cutting rates and hinting at easing. Money gets cheaper, liquidity comes back. Beautiful narratives about AI, cloud, smart devices are pumped out non-stop. This is exactly how a new bull wave begins. Not in a chorus of, "We're all going to be rich," but in a quiet whisper of doubts. Wait, is this really a bull market? or just a technical bounce? Meanwhile, the Big Seven, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, Tesla, Nvidia, now make up more than 1/3 of the S&P 500, which means even if you think I'm just buying index funds that's safe, you are still secretly betting on them, on AI, on cloud, on this entire cheap money game. But all of that is just the surface. Underneath, there's a much bigger story, the story of money. To understand the present, we have to go back to the past, the Roman Empire. They used a coin called the denarius, 95% real silver. That was real money, scarce, hard to fake, clearly valuable. It powered a strong empire for over 300 years. Then Rome started doing what every empire does at the end. Wars everywhere. Massive spending on luxury, palaces, and officials. A government machine too heavy to carry, and they chose the easiest path, water down the money. From 95% silver, the denarius slowly dropped to just 5% silver. The rest was cheap metal. Soldiers didn't want to be paid in that fake stuff anymore. They demanded gold. Gold went up. Trust in the empire's money collapsed. And when the money is no longer trusted, the empire itself cannot stand Spain in the 1500s. The king borrowed from all over Europe to fund wars and expansion. The result? 4 sovereign defaults. Public debt hit around 60% of GDP. Massive for that era, silver poured into Europe from the Americas. But instead of making everyone permanently rich, it triggered a huge wave of inflation. History now calls the price revolution, then the British Empire. The British pound was backed by gold for over 200 years. London was the financial center of the world. Then came World War I. The UK temporarily ditched the gold standard to print more money for the war. After the war, they never fully regained their old dominance. By World War II, Britain was exhausted, forced to rely on US aid and loans. And from there, the game changed hands. In 1944, at Bretton Woods, the world crowned a new king, the US dollar. World currencies pegged to the dollar. The dollar was pegged to gold at $35 an ounce. On paper, it looked perfect. But then the US did what every empire eventually does. Spending ran out of control. The Vietnam War, the arms race of the Cold War, massive social programs. The money printing machine ran hotter and hotter. By 1971, Nixon was faced with a choice: take the pain now or abandon the gold standard. He chose the path most leaders before him had chosen. He broke the link with gold. From that moment on, the dollar became true fiat money, paper-backed only by belief, no longer anchored to gold. Since then, the dollar has lost over 90% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, gold climbed from $35 an ounce to thousands of dollars per ounce. History doesn't just rhyme, it repeats almost line for line. Now let's overlay 2 pictures. Picture 1, the stock market is cheerful. Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and OpenAI are telling beautiful stories. The Fed is cutting rates. Money is getting cheaper again. Growth, opportunity, tech, AI, cloud. Picture 2, the US is sitting on over $38 trillion of debt. Debt to GDP is around 120%, worse than Spain before its long crisis. Central banks around the world are quietly buying gold at record speed. More and more countries are starting to settle trade using yuan, gold, and even Bitcoin, not just dollars. Every empire thinks it is the exception. Rome believed its empire would last forever. Britain believed the sun would never set on its territory. America believed the dollar would be king forever. But the numbers do not lie. Record high public debt. Spending is still climbing. Money is pumped out every time the system needs a shock to keep moving real assets. Gold, real estate, strong stocks rise over time while money quietly bleeds value. It's happening again. A monetary empire is entering the stage where printing more money stops being the solution and starts becoming the fuel that burns the system itself. But this is not a story to make you panic, empty your bank account, stuff cash under the mattress, or go all in on some random coin. It's the opposite. This is the moment you need to be the calmest person in the room and answer one brutally simple question. When the game shifts phase, what are you holding? Are you holding cash or are you holding assets? What is a dollar? It's a promise from the government. I promise this paper has value. Go ahead and use it. What is an asset? It's something that creates money, something that generates cash flow even as that promise slowly weakens over time. When history repeats, buildings don't disappear. Land doesn't disappear. Profitable companies don't disappear. Gold doesn't evaporate. All of that just moves from panicked hands to prepared hands. That's the part nobody on TV really tells you. So instead of always asking, is this a bubble? Is it going to crash? Should I be scared of the Fed printing money? Change the question. If this system shakes, am I on the side of the victims or the side of the people quietly buying discounted assets? Those assets might be shares of real businesses with real profits and real customers. Physical gold, the same thing central banks are quietly hoarding, Bitcoin or Ethereum, if you truly understand the risks as a small slice outside the fiat system. Real estate, places where humans will still need to live, no matter how far AI, robots, or the metaverse go. Every time the market corrects, every time a crisis hits, assets don't vanish. They just change owners. The question is not, will there be a collapse? History has answered that too many times already. The question is, when it shakes, will I be panic selling or quietly accumulating? You and I are not the Fed. We're not the CEO of Apple or Amazon. We're not Wall Street billionaires. But we still have three very simple, very powerful weapons. First, don't go all in on one story. Don't go all in on a single AI stock just because you saw it on TikTok. Don't throw your entire net worth into some quantum, robot, or blockchain ticker just because a video told you this is the opportunity of a lifetime. Winners are not the craziest risk takers. Winners are the ones who survive long enough to see opportunities come back again and again. Second, buy quality assets regularly. Index funds, blue chips, businesses with real profits, real cash flow, real products, real customers. When the market is scared, its prices fall, but their business model is still there. That's when DCA, dollar cost averaging, shows its power. Nobody knows the exact top or bottom, but the person who steadily accumulates quality assets has a huge edge over the person trembling on the sidelines. Third, keep a slice of your wealth outside the paper money system. A bit of gold, a bit of Bitcoin or Ethereum, if you're willing to study and understand some real estate when you get a chance at a good price. Not to flip and get rich overnight, but so that if the paper system wobbles, you're still holding things that can't be printed with a mouse click. When you hear that the Fed is cutting rates, that Apple and Amazon just broke new records, that Netflix is doing a stock split, that OpenAI is preparing for a giant IPO, remember, all of that is just the surface. What really decides your financial future is whether month after month, quarter after quarter, you're moving cash into real assets. In the next part of this video, we're going to go deeper into why sharp market drops are golden opportunities for the prepared, how the wealthy use every crisis to buy an entire generation's assets at a discount, and 3 practical steps you can start taking to shift from holding cash to holding assets, even if you're not a finance expert. If you've made it this far, drop the word asset in the comments so I know you're choosing to stand on the side that receives assets, not the side that just watches the game from a distance. And before we go on, hit like on this video, click subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next episodes. It's happening again. History is repeating itself. The only real question left is, will you be the one telling this story to your kids and grandkids? Or a painful example inside the story itself? Watch this video to the very end.